Welcome everybody to my final rundown of Shadow of Mordor. I have finally completed the game, in fact 100%, in about 25 and a half hours. The last bit has been cleaning up dependencies. I do like to make sure it's actually 100%. I'm going to go in here and give you guys my rundown, how I view the game, the goods, the bads, some things that could have improved the game, and I'll show you some of the different aspects of the game so you get a good idea of what you're going to get yourself into when you go to play. I do believe the graphics in the game are great overall. It runs very smooth on my computer. My specs are listed in on the about page of the YouTube channel. I run 60 frames per second throughout the entire game with no big issues, no major lags. I am unable to run consistently the higher end options for the high def graphics, though. I don't have 6 gig of RAM that is suggest having. If you go into the advanced options here, let's see here, where's the text filtering, text color, here we go. There is an ultra 6 gigabytes or higher. I'll try and pop down when I get near where some good textures are, and I can show you guys the difference. They are great, I just can't run as smoothly as I would like with them. You can actually see, I'll go ahead and zoom in here real quick. You can see one of the Grogs here fighting off some Caragors. I'll show you more about them later. Caragors are fighting these guys over here. Grog's fighting that one. So there are 3 major fighting styles in this game. You got bow, which you go into this ghost form to use at all times. And you can shoot people, you hold it down. You don't get hold vibration, which probably should, but your focus does go out. So when you focus, you slow down time. It allows you to get a better beat on things. So you do kind of lose that, and then you get this kind of jiggle at the end, but it's not as bad as it is in other games. Actually, if you hold it long enough, it does seem to get pretty bad. I've never had to hold it that long. The other option is sword. Let's just hop off here and get out of the towers. So you have a sword, and then you have a dagger for sneaking up on people. The dagger is extremely powerful. It's like in most games with the dagger, most of your shooting games, your first person, it's single shot. You run up, it kills them. So I'll just kill this guy. Dead every single time. As long as you can get there, they die. Which makes it a little powerful if you get pretty good at it. I was able to wipe out entire keeps just by staying in the shadows. It doesn't require much. The sword fighting is a little more straightforward. You can just... Combat's simple. If you saw my first hour gameplay, you'll see it then. It's a fairly straightforward combat system. It didn't get that much more complicated as time went on. You can just keep fighting. You can right click to parry. And then when your combos hit red off to the left over there, you can do executions, which those two are just 2 executions. You do get mouse movement control still while doing the execution, so it's pretty fun that way. With the bow, you can headshot people. There you go. And I've leveled up far enough now that I can do, if you hold it, you can hit X to shadow strike. Done. And then I can jump to the next one too. Now, shadow striking uses your limited arrow capabilities. Arrows also can explode fire pits. Like that. So there's a lot of things you can do with the game, but overall the game is fairly easy, is my major complaint about it. I'm not the best at these games, to be completely honest, and I tend to have to spend a bit more time to get through the game than I would normally like to. So the fact that it's easier has its benefits, but it's also a little too easy. I died once throughout the entire game, and that was more to me playing with my new Orb Weaver from... I can't remember the company's name now. But I got the new Orb Weaver from them, so it took me some time to get used to it, and I died because of that. Other than that, I haven't died. I only missed 2 or 3 of the bonuses that are available. See, like, I snuck up on him, but I didn't really sneak up on him. I actually just snuck up and converted him. Now he's got blue eyes. He'll actually fight for me if I tell him to. So now he's on my team, which is nice. You can actually convert entire keeps that way too and have them fight for you. A lot of the quests inside the game will have you do it. Flowers on the ground restore health. Fairly straightforward. Earlier in the game, go to the map. Here's your map. Early in the game, there was survival challenges where you have to collect the various herbs in the areas. And you can see up there, there's, I think, 3 or 4 of each color. Mushrooms, plants, and more plants, flowers. And then a hunting challenge, the various hunting challenges. Some of them you get through going through the game, like killing the first Karagor or the dire Karagor. Some of them are just out, like you have to shoot bats, and you have to go to find a cave and shoot bats or spiders. And fairly straightforward, fairly easy. The only difficult one was the Graug, the big Graug at the end, the final one. The rest of them were fairly straightforward. Another thing you don't see on my screen is the side quests, because I've completed them all. So I won't be showing you that. There's plenty of videos out there that'll take you through probably every single one of them. For weapons, each weapon is in here. You can unlock these 5. You can unlock up to 5 runes at a time. The runes do various things. You pick them up from the captains when you kill a captain. So I killed a level 20 captain, so I got a level 20 rune. I believe there's a Steam achievement to get a level 25 rune, which they cap out at level 20. So you have to do something to them to make them drop to go higher. So that you can either threaten them or you can lose to them so that you have revenge on them and you can kill them later. So the different abilities, so these are epic runes. You get them for either through the game or through purchasing the expansion packs. I got the season pass, so I got a bunch of them automatically. Some of them just drop, rarely drop, like this one dropped for him. Explosive demise, it blows up their head. This is fun, lots of fun in fact, but it kind of ruins the whole sneaking into place sometimes. Let's see here, and you can sell them for cash. Let's go to upgrades. I've got all the upgrades. You got a health list here. You have a elf shot, focus, hit points, sword runes, the different runes upgrades. You can have up to 5 runes, and then the final abilities for each weapon that you can use. I've got like a bunch of cash left over. I've got all the abilities. No spoilers here because you can see what they all are before you even get there. So like I said, fairly straightforward. So there seems to be there's about 100 quests. 20, 24, 10, 10, 10. The 2 challenges, and then these are like the collectibles of the game. The Ithilien and artifacts. I can show you some of those. This is the Ithilien. They look like they're glowing symbols on the wall that you have to collect. Each one allows you to look at this, and then you can listen to the memory of the entire thing. But listening to it seems like it's in the original language. These are the artifacts you find. When you find an artifact, you'll have to find its glowing point, which I don't know if will pop up now. Probably not, because everybody looked at it. And then you can play its memory. Same thing. After you listen to the memory, the first time it'll give you even more when you pop back out into the major scenes. I've collected all the appendices. Most of them you get throughout the game. All the tutorials, visions, lore you get just by playing the game all the way through. People, you will probably get all of them by playing all the way through. 99% of them. Monsters you'll probably catch most of these just playing through the game. Legendary Graug, he's the final hunting challenge. You'll probably pick up most of these. If you don't, it should be pretty easy to find the rest. And then items and collectibles. I like to 100% games when I can, so I did. This is the Sauron's army view. So I've killed all these guys. I've already beaten the game, so I'll probably go back and clean up some of the Steam achievements. But when you do some intel on them, it'll tell you some more information about them. I don't have any intel on this guy, but it tells you like what his abilities are, what he can do. Let's go get some intel while we're talking. Let's go kill this Graug too, actually. So yeah, I can bleed it. If I can sneak up on it. Oh, and I failed to sneak up on it, so I'm gonna have to kill it instead. So it's this is one of the more tough creatures to fight. It's not impossible to kill. It's actually fairly easy as long as you got some bow shot with you. I don't know if I have enough I can Shadow Mount him though. There we go, this should be fun. I forgot that I can Shadow Mount these guys now. So now I have him, and I can just run around on him and kill people with him. Just pick up this guy and eat him. Just smack some people around. There we go. This is one of the fun things in the game you can do. I didn't use it a whole lot in the game itself to accomplish anything. It's to most of the missions are pretty stealthy. Like go into the keeps, you're not really gonna want to make a whole lot of noise when you go in there. So having one of these kind of defeats that purpose. But it's fun to do. I didn't use a lot of the things that the game has available to you, mainly out of not needing it, which in its own right is pretty disappointing because you should have to need more of the stuff that it gives you. You know what? Let's do the Caragor. There we go. There, now he's gone. So you can I can Shadow Mount the Caragors as well. I'm actually just gonna get off him now. Like I said, I'm not a big fan. But he will remain loyal to you once you get off of him. Once you've trained him. So you can get a whole bunch of those guys running around too. I have a count at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen with the different people in this area that I've controlled. So the core of the game is following the quest missions, which there's not that many of them. I would bet if you ran through the quest missions explicitly, it would take you probably only a couple hours to complete the game. I'm gonna guess very few. Let's see here if I can get to upgrades. Yeah, progression. So there's only 20 main missions. Most of them were fairly easy to do. These outcast rescue missions are just releasing slaves, saving slaves one way or the other. They usually have some kind of bonus attached to them, like don't get hit, don't get caught. Sword legends increase the weapon abilities, and I'll show you some of the legendary abilities from them. This is collecting flowers, this is hunting animals, and this is collecting the different collectibles in the game. And that's the limit of what you can do. 25 hours for a complete 100% of the game is not very much. I think I've got like 400 hours or so on Skyrim. So this game, like I said, is fairly easy. It was fun. I had a great time with it. I just wish it was a little harder. Maybe some expansion packs or some changes to the game would update the AI a little bit. Like you could take on 15-20 mobs fairly easily without any major difficulties, simply because the game mechanics allow you to. Let's go ahead and pop over here. I'll go attack a keep so I can show you some of the more powerful abilities here. Let's see, where's the keep? There it is. So the bow was my primary weapon. I enjoyed using it a lot. And he's dead. So when you're in a keep type area, you'll see that I got that guy. You can see him right there. He's gonna go set off an alarm. When the alarm goes off, lots of people start showing up. I'm gonna blow this thing up. There we go. When the alarm goes off, it gets very difficult to stay alive if you stay here too long. I'm only gonna do it because I'm gonna make sure that I have enough guys to show off the special abilities of my weapons. Since I took all the time to max them out, I might as well show them off now. See, now he set off the alarm finally. Took him long enough. I could have stopped him. You actually get extra points if you stop them. But wasn't necessarily going to be the purpose thing. So let me just show the bow first. So I'm going to hit 2, and now I have unlimited fire arrows. And I can just launch them all off. For about, I think it's 10 seconds or so. Oh, this guy's gonna try and get me, but I got him. And I'm out of arrows. Or out of fire arrows. Oh, there's a captain. Fantastic. Sure, gets a captain at the same time. So let's take care of him next. Let's see if he's easy. Nope, he's immune to ranged. Oh, it's gonna get my difficult here though with the alarm going off as well. So with the alarm going off, fighting a captain at the same time can get annoying because there's too many guys going around, and to fight a captain takes specific skills. So here's an execution, an extra one. Looks like he's not immune to execution, so this might not be too bad. There's a floor execution. Let's shift right click, defend, And then I got some more execution abilities now. So I have a power up that allows me to use, for every time that it hit red, I can use my execution twice instead of only once. There we go. Now he's getting down pretty low. So he's almost dead. Even with the alarm going off, this has been fairly easy. And he's toast. So there's a captain death for you. When captains die, you pick up the runes. That's where these come from. I just got lucky enough to come across him. So I picked up a level 15, recover 70% focus for grab, shank kills. I don't use those very often. I don't do them. I never use the actual flame arrow, unlimited arrow thing throughout the game. I completely forgot about it till I actually beat the game. Some of the more fun stuff you can do while in combat. Oh, there's another captain actually. Let's see if he's into Shadow Strike. Yep, he's immune. So Shadow Strike is considered a ranged skill, so keep that in mind. Braun, the Dung Collector. Fantastic name, isn't it? So, if you... Let's see here, if I hit Control, I should be able to hit X. So this is how you view him. If you had intel, it would tell you about him. He's a legendary captain, level 15. If I had intel, it would actually give me more information on him. But unfortunately, I do not. I don't feel like fighting a second captain now. Let's get some more fun in here then. Shooting the meat summons Caragors. Shooting flies makes everyone have a full-on panic attack. Let's see here. Actually, just hit number 2 and start unlimited executions. So when you use the sword special ability, basically I don't have to wait to do executions. I can just keep them coming for that 10-15 seconds that I have available to me. So I don't have to. I don't know if it works on the captain or not. It does. So killing a captain with this kind of power should be a lot easier. I should have used it on him more, but oh well. So it's almost run out now. He was immune to ranged as well. So what would normally be an execution for most mobs is just a slight annoyance to some. I'm going to take out the guys with the shields with my bow. There we go. And you'll see how fast... see, I got that. Take out the Berserker with my bow. There we go. So once you take out the shield guys and the bow guy and the Berserker guys with your bow, everything else becomes fairly straightforward. There's very little to the combat that's difficult. The two guys I mentioned before can get difficult to fight. Especially if you're not as good as some people are. I'm not as good as I wish I was. There you go. That was a clean shot. So I'm going to get my ass. There's two bad guys here and the captain. That's the other thing. So it's pretty easy to get away if things start getting hairy. So I'm just going to get out. So I just left. And they'll chase for a few, but it's easy to hide. Like, they've already lost track of me, that's why it's all yellows now. And they lose track of you too easily. Like, I'm still very close. They should be able to find me. But they just give up. So now they're all walking slow. Oh, they're chasing that guy. Let's probably get out of here. Let's see what else is there. Let's go show you the Caragor. Just kill this Caragor quick so I can go steal this Caragor in the cage. There's the big one over there is going to be another Graug, but I'm going to steal this Caragor instead. Oh, there's like a bloody captain right there, but I'm not going to mess with them. So this is the Caragor. That's another mount. One of the two. The Graug is the other mount. This one's much more useful, if for nothing more than just getting around. There's very little that can stop you. The mounts do have hit points. You can see a second hit point bar at the bottom. I've lost a couple mounts just blitzing through areas, but for the most part you can do whatever you want while you're on the Caragor. People aren't usually fast enough to stop you or to even attack you. So you'd have to be running around for a while to let your mount finally die. And it does just let you get around to the different quest targets faster. And once you get to the point where you can Shadow Strike and mount them immediately, it becomes much easier to do. Mounting them without Shadow Strike can be kind of a hassle. You kind of have to stun them first and then mount them, or leap on them and then use a QTE event. QTE event is redundant, but QTE to actually collect them and actually train them up, so you can ride them around. So that looks like it's it. So let's do some of the events that are left. So this is going to be a duel between two captains. Now later on in the game, or look, this is going to be a feast. So the goal of this event is going to be to interrupt his feast. It's easy enough. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can get them to move around with arrows and actually sneak in there, and poison the grog, or you can just shoot them. Like I'm gonna, and oh, it's a captain too, so keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna shoot it. There it goes. And if he's not immune to arrows, he is. Oh well. Always he's gonna be to arrows. Arrows. Like, there we go. Yeah, he's finally gonna find me back now. So now I've successfully messed him up. He's failed his feast. If I don't succeed in messing up whatever it is they're doing, then gain a level. And that was when they gain a level, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll probably go out of your way to help certain ones gain levels, especially because you can control them. And then they fight for you. You can actually command them to attack certain people, which allows you to get higher runes. That's basically what it comes down to. I didn't really feel a need to do that. The runes I have are perfectly fine. I assume that I can get tons of excellent runes if I really wanted them. It just wasn't necessary to complete the game. Even trying to complete the game 100%, it wasn't necessary. You should be able to cleanly live off just... so I'm going to catch this guy and I'm going to actually dominate him. So you can do this to captains as well. I'm going to do it to him to gain intel on a captain. Let's just do this one. So now it tells me where he is, and it also tells me his different abilities. He'll grab you. He's battle hardened, so you'll have to finish him off. He's harder to kill. He hates burns. Some of them have weaknesses, better weaknesses than this. Like when this one's vulnerable to range. You'll find a lot of the higher level ones are vulnerable to range. But some of them are weak against sneak attacks. Some of them are weak against bow shots. These are invulnerable to stealth and ranged. And then I can either kill him or dismiss him. If I dismiss him, he just stays mine. He'll just stay controlled now. Then I'm far in the game. At the beginning of the game, you don't have the control option. The only option you have is owned. But see, I've got about... there's the head explosion that I mentioned earlier. It's fun to do. But I've got about 15-20 seconds of bow slowdown, which is enough to wipe out most things, and it takes about 30-45 seconds after that to regenerate. I think that's most of the aspects of the game. I might have missed one or two. The shadow strikes, the sneaking abilities, there's more of the missions. Like I said, there's the missions for the different weapons that are specific to that weapon. For instance, the dagger missions are going to be... Look at him. Oh, I just attacked him accidentally. Oh well. The dagger missions are going to be sneak around, don't get caught, don't get seen, and kill 15 people, or aerial jump 15 people, or free these slaves while also doing XYZ. And the bow missions are going to be the same, but for bow, it's going to be stand here and shoot these guys, or headshot. And they have different bonuses as well, bonus things that you're going to try and do at the same time. Like headshot 14 of the guys that you're supposed to be killing, or... don't get shot at all, or some of them have failure modes, some of them don't, so one's range. Just depends. The sword ones are basically fight 1,000 people at once. I'm actually a lot of my health here. You can't get hurt by the fire yourself, so it's good to keep in mind. See, now he's dead. He died from the fire. So you can blow the things up right next to you. It doesn't hurt you at all. Kind of ridiculous, but that's what happens. Most of the guys will run away after a captain dies, so you're usually pretty safe afterwards. I can go get that rune, but I don't really need it. The sword one, I think the first one is get to 100 combos, 100 hits without failing. Let's just shoot the guys. Oh, I'm out of arrows. Oh, there should be a flower here for me to eat. It must be down here. Let's regain my health if I can find the stupid thing. There you go, it's just some things in the ground. There you go. Earth bread collected too, kind of look like bread. There are some world things that can hurt you. This can hurt you when it explodes. Eventually. Freeing slaves, you'll see some slaves will have a quest mark above their head. You just have to release them and they'll give you the slave quest to do. You can shoot the animals in the area. In fact, some of the hunting quests specifically have you do that. And that's it. The game's not too hard. I will say, spoiler, so if you want to skip this part, skip it. I'll put a link to skip it as well. The end is kind of disappointing. There's the first time I thought it was going to end, it was disappointing. I was like, oh, this is kind of a crap ending. And then it didn't end. You had one more step. I'm like, great, because that was disappointing. And then I had the actual ending, which was equally disappointing. It was more QTEs and less actual combat, which I think took away from the game a lot. It's like it's always more fun to be part of the fight than kind of just there when it happened. I like to play the fighting games, not watch them. If I want to watch them, I'll go see a movie. So that was kind of not what I was looking for. But you know, it is what it is. Here's an example of intel that's not always from bad guys. You can pick it up from dead people, or you can pick it up from items on the ground or on the tables like notes or paperwork. So that's the ending. It was still great. The videos are awesome. I'm sure you can find a bunch of the videos online of the actual cinematic videos. And let's see if I can actually. There's not a whole lot of bad guys here. I'm gonna actually see if I can't turn on the high-end graphics. We'll take a look around. So look at these ones here. I mean, the detail is great. I have everything maxed out except for the high definition install for graphics. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm at 60 frames running now as normal. Let's see how bad it gets when I turn it on. Let's go to ultra. There we go. So I'm at ultra. You can see some screen tearing on me now, though. Yeah, you can see how it's loading slower. Still says I have 60 frames, but I can definitely see the difference. I can see the lag, the lines across the screen of it loading correctly. But you got to give it to the new textures because they are great. I mean, the world is just beautifully rendered. I thought they did an excellent job on the graphics. The textures are great. I'm sure there's going to be new texture mods, especially if they open it up to the Steam Workshop. You're going to see some great mods for that, as you always do. Like with Skyrim. Skyrim is still awesome now because of all the mods. And that's the case for most games that are built in this style. Even the wall still isn't that great. I wonder if the high definition. I mentioned in my first video that the flags are kind of watery, and I wasn't a big fan of that. The fabrics were kind of watery instead of flowy. I found that to be disturbing. But I guess the graphics. I guess the high definition didn't slow me down too much. I can definitely see the progressive loading a little bit more than I did before, but there's not a major increase in lag. I mean, I think I probably could have played like this just fine. There you go. So the other thing you want to keep in mind, it's explicitly told you, but I skip a lot of things. I'm sure most people do. If you don't use your combo and you leave it glowing red, you will do more damage. I think it's like double or triple damage. And also clicking rapidly is bad in this game. Actually, you'll build higher combos by clicking once. It's called like precision fighting. It's one of the abilities you can pick up for the upgrades here somewhere. It allows you critical strike. They go well-timed attacks. So if you only attack once, you actually get 3. If you click like mad, you get 1. Unfortunately, that never stopped me from clicking like mad. So, there you have it. Well, everybody, that's going to be my final rundown of Shadow of Mordor. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next game.